A short reading from Richard Adams' book, Watership Down. Watership Down is a place near Kingsclear in Hampshire. I grew up near there, and it's a very beautiful place. And the story is about a group of rabbits whose warren was destroyed by a housing development, and so they had to move from where they were and find a new place. So they ended up at Watership Down. Their leader was Hazel, and he had a life which was heroic, demanding, dangerous, noble, and his followers, the other rabbits, admired him. And this is what happens at the end of the story. One chilly, blustery morning in March, I cannot tell exactly how many springs later, Hazel was dozing and waking in his burrow. He had spent a good deal of time there lately, for he felt the cold and could not seem to smell or run so well as in days gone by. He had been dreaming in a confused way, something about rain and elder bloom, when he woke to realise that there was a rabbit lying quietly beside him. No doubt some young buck who had come to ask his advice. The sentry in the run outside should not really have let him in without asking first. Never mind, thought Hazel. He raised his head and said, "Do you want to talk to me?" "Yes, that's what I've come for," replied the other. "You know me, don't you?" "Yes, of course," said Hazel, hoping he would be able to remember his name in a moment. And then he saw that in the darkness of the burrow, the stranger's ears were shining with a faint silvery light. "Yes, my lord," he said. "Yes, I know you." "You've been feeling tired," said the stranger, "but I can do something about that. I've come to ask whether you'd care to join my owsler. We shall be glad to have you, and you'll enjoy it. If you're ready, we might go along now." They went out past the young sentry, who paid the visitor no attention. The sun was shining, and in spite of the cold, there were a few bucks and does at Silfley, keeping out of the wind as they nibbled the shoots of spring grass. It seemed to Hazel that he would not be needing his body any more, so he left it lying on the edge of the ditch, but stopped for a moment to watch his rabbits and to try to get used to the extraordinary feeling that strength and speed were flowing inexhaustibly out of him into their sleek young bodies and healthy senses. "You needn't worry about them," said his companion. "They'll be all right, and thousands like them. If you'll come along, I'll show you what I mean." He reached the top of the bank in a single powerful leap. Hazel followed, and together they slipped away, running easily down through the wood where the first primroses were beginning to bloom.